The commanders of Gilead are hoping that Commander Lawrence's new Bethlehem project fails in The Handmaid's Tale Season 6, and here's why this is the case. Commander Lawrence is one of the most interesting characters in The Handmaid's Tale, with him ambiguous motives and seemingly contradictory actions making him a bit of a wild card. Lawrence has enemies and friends in Gilead and in the United States, with his true allegiance not being fully known. However, when it comes to Gilead, Lawrence's pool of friends is shrinking and his well of enemies is growing in The Handmaid's Tale Season 6. The Handmaid's Tale Season 6, Episode 5 has been released, with it being a massive midpoint for the show's final season. June and Moira have found themselves stuck in Gilead, with them killing a guard while on a Mayday mission at Jezebel's. Luckily, they find Commander Lawrence while attempting to escape. Lawrence begrudgingly puts June and Moira in the back of his car, although their fate isn't yet known. This is just the cherry on top of Lawrence's controversies, with his new Bethlehem project and treatment of Janine potentially landing him on the wall. Most Gilead commanders aren't like Lawrence. He runs Gilead with different goals in mind. Commander Lawrence is a founder of Gilead and one of its most powerful leaders. Despite this, most Gilead commanders aren't like him. The protagonists in The Handmaid's Tale often turn to Lawrence when they need help, with them knowing that he is far more sympathetic than the other commanders. Lawrence has done awful things, such as shooting down the Mayday planes in The Handmaid's Tale Season 5. However, Janine admits that Lawrence looks good in comparison to the other commanders, which is a big deal considering how awful most of them all. Commander Lawrence truly wants Gilead to succeed, which is why he is still an antagonistic force in The Handmaid's Tale. However, it is hard to argue that he is downright evil. Lawrence is still radically far-right, with him supporting many of the practices of Gilead. However, he does seem to care about people, something that the other commanders can't say. Lawrence's new Bethlehem project is designed to make a more liberalized version of Gilead, something that the others are opposed to. Lawrence doesn't enjoy suffering, although his beliefs often lead others to it. The commanders just need to use Lawrence's new Bethlehem to save Gilead. They can't run it without him. Commander Lawrence's radical changes to Gilead should have gotten him killed a long time ago. Many of the commanders have already turned on Lawrence, which is why it is strange that he is still around. However, his presence is merely because the commanders need Lawrence so that Gilead can succeed. Although Gilead has increased its influence in Canada, it is having a lot of problems. International relations are souring, and the public presence of figures like June and Serena Joy is hurting Gilead's ability to succeed. The commanders recognize that New Bethlehem is what Gilead needs in order to continue being sustainable. Although New Bethlehem will have a lot of problems, it could work as a sign to the international community that Gilead is willing to change. The New Bethlehem project also seems to be helping with birth rates, potentially acting as a justification for the entire Gilead project. Lawrence may be a wild card, but he is the only one who can make New Bethlehem work, which is why he is still alive in The Handmaid's Tale Season 6. Can Lawrence make New Bethlehem work long-term? It may appear in the Testaments. If Commander Lawrence wants to stay safe, he has to make New Bethlehem work long-term. However, this will be difficult to do. New Bethlehem will still be a fascist theocracy, meaning that the underlying issues that are causing resistance to Gilead will eventually pop up again. It is impossible to keep people happy while oppressing them, and while it has a better chance than Gilead proper, there are still a lot of issues. Although it may not work long-term, New Bethlehem will probably be around for a while. Based on the Testaments, a state similar to Gilead will still be around after The Handmaid's Tale ends. It would make sense for New Bethlehem to take over at the end of Season 6, creating a new antagonistic force for the sequel series. There are still a lot of questions about New Bethlehem, and the series will probably tackle them as The Handmaid's Tale comes to a close.